Alright guys, so for this trick, we can have the spectator go ahead and shuffle the cards as much as they want to. They can go and mix up the order as much as they want. You guys can see there's no specific, arrangement of the cards or anything like that. So for this trick, we're gonna have the spectator really pick any card. It's a completely free choice. So let's say they pick this card over here, the 3 of diamonds, alright? Completely free choice. They can sign their card, or sign their name on the card, whatever they want to do. But we're gonna go ahead and actually just leave that card somewhere here in the center of the pack, and we'll get back to it in just a little bit, but for now we'll leave it somewhere in the center. So the spectator might have some sort of subliminal memory of where their card is, but we're going to get completely rid of that because we're going to shuffle the deck, so now the spectator really has no idea where their card is in the pack, alright? So I want you guys to see this. Look, your card is not near the top, right? Not near the top of the deck, and it's also not near the bottom of the deck, because what I want the spectator to do is I want them to basically name any number between 152, and hopefully what we can do is we can get your card to land in that exact position in the pack, alright? So let's say the spectator names the number 14, alright? It's a completely free choice. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, alright? That's 14 cards. Look, I want you guys to see this. Look, if they had said 15 or any of these other cards, it would have been a completely different outcome. And look, all of those are there, and all of these are here as well. You guys can see it would have been any of these cards if you had said a different number. But you said the number 14, right? And your card was the 3 of diamonds. That's right. And yeah, guys, that is the trick, and at this point, everything can be completely examinable. And that's basically the trick, guys. So now for the tutorial. Alright, guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. It's a very cool any card at any number variation that I came up with myself. It's a really cool handling. I really, really like this version a lot, because it really does seem super clean to the spectator's eyes. There is a lot of sleight of hand involved, but the spectator does not really see it. If you have good audience management and good misdirection, you guys should be able to do this just fine. This is a completely impromptu trick, so you can start out by having the spectator shuffle the deck so you can hand it over to them. They can go ahead, give it a quick riffle shuffle or overhand shuffle, whatever they want to do. Completely mix up the deck, alright? So at this point, you're going to have them select any card, and it really is a free choice. So you're going to spread through the cards here, and what you're going to do is you're going to have them pick any card they want. So let's say they touch this one over here. Preferably, it should be somewhere in the middle, but it really doesn't matter. So let's say they pick this card, the 9 of spades. So what you're going to do is you can allow them to sign the card if you want, but they can also just remember the card. You can either do this. You can either flip over the card and then you can see it, or you can just kind of peel it off and show it to them like this so that only they can see it. I would actually prefer this way just because then it seems a little bit more fair. I would do this, show them the card. They're going to put it back here, and what I do is I spread over 1, 2, 3 cards here, and then I'm going to keep my fingers on that card, and then I'm going to spread over and I'm just keeping my fingers on that card. And what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to lift up at that card that I'm keeping my fingers on here, get a little break right underneath it, and then I'm going to do what's called a turnover pass, which looks something like this. And that basically just cuts the cards, and now their card is actually going to be the 3rd card from the bottom, and that is exactly what you want to do. So there are many ways to control the card. If you want to learn how to do the turnover pass, or in other words, the Herman pass, I did make a video on it, so go ahead and watch that video right up here if you do not know how to do this move. But we'll go through that one more time. So let's say they pick the 9 of spades again, so we'll go ahead and just flip that card over to locate it easier. So let's say they pick the 9 of spades. So we're going to show them the card like this, all right? So there's the card. We're going to spread over 1, 2, 3 cards. Keep my fingers on this card here, 2 of diamonds in this case. Spread over the rest of the cards, say, all right, so we'll lose your card in the middle of the deck. Now, when you square up, you're going to lift up all the cards that your fingers are on here. You're just going to lift them up a little bit here so that your pinky can have room to insert right there in that gap. And now you're going to do a turnover pass, which undercover should look something like this here. That's basically what a turnover pass is. You're turning over the bottom half and then putting the other half on top while turning everything over, basically. And at full speed and in performance angles and everything, it should look something like this. Just looks like you're turning over the cards. Now their card is actually the 3rd card from the bottom. But you're not going to reveal this. You're just going to spread over a block of cards. So just spread over block. and then show all the cards here shuffled up, and their card is lost somewhere in the deck. So leave their card here in the third position from the bottom and flip over the cards. So at this point, you're going to say, all right, so I know that you might have some sort of subliminal memory of where your card is in the deck right now. We're going to get rid of that because we're going to shuffle the deck. So now you're just going to give the cards 2 riffle shuffles, and all you're going to do is just keep their card in the third position from the bottom. So just riffle off a small block, and then you can shuffle the cards on top as many times as you want to. Just keep that card in the third position from the bottom. That's why you shuffle off a block of cards, just to keep that card there. Now you can shuffle on top however way you want, because their card is still here, third from the bottom. So now what you're going to do is you're going to say, all right, so I really want you to see this. I want you to see your card is not near the top, and you're going to flip over 1, 2 cards on top. Put those back on top. Flip the deck over, and you're just going to peel off 1 card. That's it. Just 1 card. Because if you peeled off this card here, you would accidentally reveal their card to be right there. So you're just going to peel off 1 card, kind of flip your hands over, and then just put this card right back. Flip the deck over, and now you're going to basically ask the spectator to name any number they want. Now, as they're doing this, you could be talking, and what you're going to do is essentially getting a break under these bottom 3 cards. You're going to get a break under the bottom 3 cards because their card is right here, third from the bottom. So you're going to get a break, and then under cover and with misdirection and stuff, they're not going to be able to see this part, but what you're going to do is you're actually going to be turning over those 3 cards on the bottom, and then you're going to be maintaining a break just like this. So that's all going to happen as you talk. Think of any number right now between 1 and 52, and once you have it, basically we're going to try and get your card to land in that position in the deck. And there, I'm already done. So now the cards have been flipped over, and I now have a break with my pinky. So in full detail how to do this, if you guys don't know how to do this, as you're talking, you can either riffle up from the back with your thumb. You can go 1, 2, 3 cards, catch a break. That's a way how to get a break. Or you guys can spread over until you eyeball 3 cards there, and then do the same thing as before when you lift up the cards and then catch a break. Either way works. It really doesn't matter. It's all up to you guys. So once you have a break right on top of these 3 cards here, you're going to do what's called a half pass. It's almost like a turnover pass, but you're only doing it with 1 hand here. So you're taking your index finger and curling it underneath here. So that's on the bottom of the deck here. You're going to take your fingers here and just kind of open them up, and then use your index finger to apply pressure, and that will kind of spin the cards around, and then just place the deck on top. And that's basically what a half pass is. And you're doing it with the bottom 3 cards. So you're doing this here, and once again, use misdirection and don't make a big deal out of this. You want to be talking to them, looking at them in the eye when you do this part. And that should be it right there. I just flipped over 3 cards on the bottom. So that part does require some practice, but once you get it down, it should be pretty easy, and low-key, you guys should not have to worry about it too much. So at this point, you can get a break under the 3 cards, once again, by riffling up from the back, just like this. So you get a break right there. Now you have a break right on top of the 3 cards that are face up on the bottom. Now you're going to have the spectator name any number between 1 and 52. So if you guys are skeptical that they're going to name, like 52, just to mess with you, you can say, all right, so I showed you, your card is not near the top, it's not near the bottom. So you guys can name any number, let's say between like 10 and 40, so that we can really get it in the middle of the deck. And you can do that if you're scared. So you guys can definitely do that, and that will kind of, get rid of the heckler situation where they name, 1 or 52, that will just get rid of that. And also, you do kind of want them to name a number a little bit bigger than 10, and that will just help you cover your slight that you do later in the trick. So let's say they name the number 22, all right? So it can really be any number in the middle of the deck. It doesn't matter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. You're literally going to deal 22 cards on the table, or whatever number they say. And this part varies if you're right-handed or left-handed. So if you're right-handed, if you hold the deck in your left hand, deal the pile and then place the pile to your left. So it's like right next to your hand holding the deck. But if you're left-handed and you hold the deck with your right hand, I would recommend you put the pile to your right side so that it can be right next to the hand that's holding the deck. So basically, whichever hand is holding the deck, deal the cards so that the cards will land on the table, and your hand holding the deck will hover right above that pile. That's essentially what you want to do. This entire time, you're still holding a break right on top of those 3 cards. And what you're going to do is you're going to say, all right, guys, look at this. If you had named one more card, the 23rd card would have been 8 of clubs, and you're going to spread off just a couple of cards here, all right? And once you spread off a couple of cards, you're just going to kind of square up a little bit, but keep it messy. And you just saw me do the move, basically. You're just going to lift up your hand, and you're actually going to leave these 3 cards here in your hand. And what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of tilt forward with your hand here, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your hand with the 3 cards, drop them on the table. You're going to flip them over, and drop them right on top of the pile. And you'll see that their selection is actually right here, which is the top card in your hand. So when you flip over the cards and put them on top, now their card is going to be on top of the pile. And that's basically how to do the trick right there. But of course, that method that I just showed you was only for the camera. This is how I would really perform it for people. So I would still put the pile right here so my hand is hovering right above it, so that it will be very, very simple for me to just kind of place this pack in front of the spectator so that I can misdirect them. Say, take a look at the top card on the deck and make sure it's not your card or anything like that. Say, like, take a look at what would have been one or two more cards. That's what I would say to sort of misdirect them. So I would take the deck and actually just take every single card and leave the 3 cards here in my left hand, place the entire deck in front of the spectator, and as I do that, my hand with the 3 cards drops on the pile. So I'm going to say, all right, so take a look at the top card over here, make sure it's not your card, whatever you guys want to say. And your hand is going to come down and you're going to basically pick up the pile here, flip it back over. So now you're holding it mechanic's grip face up. You can spread through some cards here to show that all these cards would have been a different outcome. You're just going to cleanly flip over the cards and say, what was the card that you picked? It was the 9 of spades, right? So then you say 9 of spades, take a look. And there is the 9 of spades. And to clean up, because now you actually did add 3 cards on top of here, so now there's actually 24 cards here. If you really want this to be super clean in the end, you can actually riffle off 3 cards one more time from the bottom, and this applies for any number they pick. You can riffle off 1, 2, 3 cards from the bottom, and you can actually just kind of do a thumb drop on this pile on the table as you kind of slide it back here, and now you can count like there really is only 21 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And this was the 22nd card. So that would be if you really want to clean up. But if you guys do not care about that, then what you can do is you can simply just show them the card. They'll be freaking out. You can just take the pile, put it on the deck, spread out all the cards, and now everything is really just truly examinable because there's no real dirty work to hide or anything like that. So essentially that is the trick right there. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this trick. You just have to practice it a little bit and just kind of use some misdirection, but once you guys get it down, you guys should be able to fool people's brains with this. You guys will be able to completely impress any spectator you perform this to. So go ahead, try this one out, let me know how it goes in the comment section below, and see you guys from my next video. Bye.